What's up, guys? Jeff from Sorta Healthy here. Today, the mission is simple. I'm going to tell you what you need to do to become successful as a personal trainer in 2025, 2026, and beyond. I'm going to tell you exactly what to focus on. That way, you can make the big bucks as soon as possible. Our field of personal training is full of gurus or fake people. These scammers couldn't make it as fit pros themselves, so what do? They try to sell you a course on what you have to do to be successful, even though they couldn't hack it, and now they have to scam you in order to pay their bills. I'm not selling you anything. I have a personal training gym, studio, whatever you want to call it, that is very successful and has been operating for over 8 years now. I built this YouTube channel by teaching fitness professionals what's necessary for success without all the BS. Speaking of which, if you want to drop a quick like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Wasting no time, the first thing you need to do to be successful going forwards as a personal trainer is to master the basics and get really good at one or two extra things. Okay, maybe the word master is a little too aggressive. Let's just say you need to be very solid in the essentials. The basics of personal training are, and I would say this is actually in order of importance: 1, client communication; 2, programming; 3, sales; and 4, marketing. You need to be solid in every one of these domains. I've got so many videos covering each of these topics, there's really no excuse as to why you can't learn them for free here on YouTube right now. In addition to mastering, or at least being very good at the basics, again, these things, I want you to have at least 1 or 2 aces up your sleeve. Basically, have a bit of a niche or a couple things that help you to stand out. I just did a video on NASM's new assisted stretching certification. It's actually pretty good. Maybe you're the best person at assisted stretching in your area. That's a great selling point. Maybe you're an expert at rock climbing and you train other climbers. Maybe you train runners or women or men over 65 years old. Get really good at a thing or two in addition to the basics, and you'll never struggle to find work. The second thing trainers need to do to become successful is get some experience and then take some chances. I've said it in a ton of videos and podcasts at this point, so I'll keep this next one a bit short. Get your certification, then get a training job wherever, it doesn't really matter, and then treat that first year as a learning experience. You'll pick up a ton of useful skills in your first year as a trainer, the most important of which is client communication, and you can learn that in any gym. You'll also get practice with sales, programming, and marketing at almost any facility. Even if you don't have success right away, don't worry, I struggled my first year, as do many others. Just make sure to stick with it and keep improving. So the second part of this point was to take some chances. Let's say you've been training for about a year, you've been working at 1 or 2 places, both are just okay, and you're wondering what you should do next. Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because that's where things start to get interesting. You've got some experience under your belt, and now you have to take some chances. What are some chances or opportunities that you should take advantage of? I've got 4 things to consider. 1, start to network; 2, work at a better gym; 3, branch out to something adjacent; 4, start your own business. So start to network. What I mean by that is after a year, you should have a few people around you that you trust that are doing something similar to you. This could be a boss, another trainer you work with, even this YouTube channel would count here. You should know what other professionals in the field are doing. Conferences can be really useful here too. Consider going to some after year 1. The second thing to consider after the first year is going and working at a better gym. You can make a good living being a trainer at certain places. The obvious examples are gyms like these, but many other options are out there. With some basic certifications and at least a year of experience, you now have a chance of getting a job at a higher end location. The third thing you can do is branch out to something adjacent. Maybe you want to try to get a management position somewhere. Maybe you want to try to learn and incorporate a new skill into your sessions. After a year on the job, you should be thinking about how you're going to level up your skill set. Another thing to consider after working somewhere for a year is starting your own business. It's harder than you'd think, and it's not the path for everyone, but it's the best thing in the world for some of you watching. Again, I've got a ton of videos on that already and more to come. I need to stay on topic today. Either way, get experience that first year and then take some chances after that. That's what most successful trainers do. The third thing you'll need to do in order to be successful is related to what we just talked about, and it's not unique to personal training. You need to achieve a handful of big goals each year. Let's go over how you should be doing this, because unfortunately, this is something that always separates the winners from the losers in almost anything in life, and training is no exception. First, come up with 2 to 3 large goals for the year. Let's say these are things that we will accomplish no matter what it takes. These are non-negotiables for us this year. We have to get them done. 1, create an effective website. 2, become the local authority on fitness in our 10-mile radius. 3, sign on 5 clients for our new personal training business. Cool, we've got our goals. We're going to build the foundation of a strong personal training business. So now what do we do? Well, what comes next is simple but not easy, kind of like losing weight or getting stronger. We're going to break these goals down into smaller sub-goals. We're going to focus on building the website first because the longer our website exists, the more traction we have on Google, Bing, AI search platforms, etc. We're going to give ourselves 3 weeks to get that done. Every day for the first 3 weeks of January or whatever month it is, we're going to work on the website for at least 1 hour. Doesn't matter if you're working, hanging with friends, whatever. 1 hour a day minimum. The website needs to be done in 3 weeks. Get used to giving yourself deadlines and follow through on those. So we got our website done in 3 weeks. Congrats. Let's all pat ourselves on the back. For the next 3 weeks, we're going to build our digital footprint. We'd create a Google business listing ASAP, and I really mean as soon as humanly possible. The longer you're on Google, the more power you have. If you don't have a physical location, create a service area for your business instead, by the way. Next, we'd create a Facebook business page. We'd consider a separate Instagram page for the business. That may or may not be something that makes sense. We'd get on Yelp, set up a Bing listing, etc. Basically, we'd make any free listing that we can, and we connect them to our new website. After that, we'd focus on making content for the website. We'd network with other local professionals, attend Chamber of Commerce meetings, whatever. We'd keep working on a few things every week in order to achieve these goals. Set clear goals at the start, break them down into smaller sub-goals, and give yourself firm deadlines on those smaller sub-goals. Do these things and you'll be successful. If you don't, unfortunately, there's going to be some crazy person who's going to outwork you every single time. My next point is also related to that last one. This one is the most fun for me, and again, people who do this effectively are going to win, and people who don't, well, I don't want to sound like a dick, but if you don't do this well, you're going to work for someone who does. So the next thing you do to ensure that you're successful is figure out your 5-year timeline. It's going to be a combination of career and personal things, but for our purposes here today, we'll keep it mostly work related. I'm going to use myself as an example for this one and take all of you back to a very pivotal time in my career. I was in my mid-20s and had been training for 3-ish years. I had 3 jobs at the time. One was at a nice private studio, one was at the YWCA, and one was training clients in their homes. I wrote down my 5-year plan and then set out to achieve 5 main things. 1, grow my in-home training business by 2 to 3 clients a year until hitting max capacity. This required online and in-person work. 2, slowly reduce hours at places where I was employed as I built up my own thing. 3, buy a duplex where I could train clients in one side and live in the other. 4, outfit the training side as a small private studio. 5, get clients to train with me in my own home studio. From 2015 to 2020, these were the things that I worked on, and I did get all of it done. Eventually, my home studio was too booked up, and I had to find a bigger space in town. Now, none of this would have happened if I hadn't planned it all out in advance and done a few things each week in that 5-year span to ensure success. Just like with 1-year goals, you break these 5-year goals down into smaller achievable steps. The biggest difference between a 5-year plan and a 1-year plan is that a 5-year plan is likely to change a fair bit along the way, where a 1-year plan usually doesn't change too much. So your 5-year plan needs to be a little bit more flexible. Some tasks will be harder and others will be easier than you're expecting. I can't state enough though that if you don't have 1-year and 5-year plans, well, it's going to be very tough to be successful. You know what they say, if you fail to plan to fail. The last thing that trainers are going to need to be successful going forwards are 2 attributes. You're going to have to be adaptable and resilient. Some level of mental toughness or resiliency is always necessary for us, and a lot of that is because of how tough that first year on the job is. If you can make it past that first year and improve a little bit each day, you'll likely be fine and successful if you just stick with it. The adaptable thing is interesting though, because I think that heading into 2026, well, let's just say that adaptability is going to be more important than ever. When I say adaptable, I do mean that you'll have to be able to adapt day to day. For example, let's say a client is walking through the door telling you how they tweaked their knee over the weekend, and now you have to fully change up their workout on the fly. Being able to adapt in situations like that is always important. Responding to some of the new things coming down the pike is also what I'm referring to here though. The economy is possibly headed in some interesting directions right now. We can set 5-year goals and accomplish all of those things, but no single person alive knows what's actually going to happen to the economy in that same time frame. If you're running a purely one-on-one personal training business, I would strongly recommend looking into semi-private and small group personal training. They are different from one another. Semi-private training is what I offer in my gym, which I talk about in this video, and I'll be breaking it down more in future videos. My concern for those just offering one-on-one is that as daily expenses continue to rise in price, well, one-on-one services, which are already viewed as a luxury item, they may feel even more out of reach for the average person. By adding semi-private or small group training to your offerings, you can help to mitigate that problem a fair bit, since those services are more affordable. We also have things like AI and GLP-1s such as Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro. I would suggest embracing all of these things. None of them have done damage to my business, and they won't threaten yours either if you play your cards right. AI, at least right now, offers nothing that can really replace you and your skills. Sure, it can create a halfway decent program, and that's pretty cool. People hire you for the accountability, though. They're not going to be consistent exercising without another person waiting for them at a certain time, at a certain place with a game plan. The human connection can't be replaced by AI yet. Luckily, that's probably still pretty far off. Also, we can use AI to help us with certain tasks as well. Blogging, recipe ideas, marketing, stuff like that can all be simplified with AI. GLP-1s can be a useful tool for some, and there's no doubt they help people to lose weight. That said, most people know they should exercise alongside taking them since they can negatively impact muscle mass while helping someone to lose fat mass. Doctors are telling people to resistance train alongside taking these meds, which is obviously good for us. Also, most people don't plan on taking GLP-1s forever. They know they need to have things in place to help them keep the weight off. So keep the old stuff. The best exercises before are still going to be the best ones going forwards. Coaching probably won't change too much overall, nor will trainer and client communication. But those who embrace these new trends while maintaining mastery over the basics, well, those folks are certainly going to have an edge. What are your thoughts, though? What do trainers need to focus on to be successful going forwards? Let me know below in the comments. I want to hear what you guys think as well. On your way out of here, please drop a quick like and subscribe, as both of those things really help to support the channel. Thank you so much, guys, and until next time, stay sort of healthy.